I hate having to put this up here. What is up, my dudes? Welcome back to another live stream. Today we have a Ford Fusion, my favorite car, one of my favorite cars ever to tint. We used to get these all the time. It's not the newer model, it's the older model, but I love these. It's got a very flat back window. The only thing is the quarters. So if you, I used to do them the hack method because I didn't know about this other one. So now that there's not as many on the road, you're not going to run into this super often. But if you do, we're going to go over that today. So how y'all doing? Good, I hope. Good. I feel like I need to juggle or something. Did I set everything up? I think I set everything up. So my camera's one. Woo! Ta-da! Cool. Canon. Good deal. And then I know this thing's... And the dot matrix sucks. That is true. That is true. I do have something I could put on. I think I might. We could do, not something I typically do, but we might do it today. We could do Dotrix on it to fix that. Sometimes it's kind of a pain to work with, but we might do that. I don't know. We'll see how the rest of it goes. Should be good. Where did you get that shirt? It was sent by Carrie, Iron Duck Designs. You can find her on Facebook. So they sent over some Detroit Tint Studio stuff, and also like she makes really cool window tint inspired logo designs and stuff for shirts and stuff. But yeah, it's I like it. This is a long sleeve one, and I definitely need it now because it's cold. Oh wait, no, that is good. Okay, good. I'm sad. I'm almost out of coffee. Ooh! Efren with the 5. Oh, I have to apologize right off the beginning. We don't have the balloon right now, so I'm gonna have to shut that off. It was blown up last time. Customers waiting up front, so we don't have the balloon right now. But Efren, thank you so much for the 5, Sensei. I appreciate it. Hey, what's up, man? Started tinting. Any tips for the back window shrinking and make sure you're not going to crease it? You gotta just do a lot of practice and watch a lot of videos. It's too broad of a thing to just like talk you through it. Best I can say is watch a lot of videos, practice. When you're creasing it, the film is bunching up together, so you need to take the time to shrink it first. You're not shrinking it soon enough. So you got to get it to lay evenly and then press it down. And like press it down is really just like scoot it down. So we can go over it. We can talk about it a little bit on this one, but this isn't a very it's not a very curved back window. What's the best way to deal with the dot matrix? Most of the time you're just gonna leave them be. On something that's like really big, like this one, that whole area can silver out in like a weird mountainscape. It looks kind of funky. So there is this product called Dotrix, but you're not going to use it as much anymore. How's your day? It was a little weird today. So I had an 11 o'clock, and I had this one scheduled. So I collected the deposit on my 11 o'clock, and then he was like about 10, 15 minutes after the appointment was scheduled. Or like, you know, he was supposed to be here at 11. It's getting to 11:15, so I call him. And then he answers the phone, and he's like, yeah, I'll be there in about 5 minutes. Okay, cool. And then 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes goes by, and I'm like, what the hell? So I call him again, and just, that's it. Didn't hear from him at all. Didn't pick up his phone, just completely ghosted. But he still left a deposit, which was weird. So I don't think I've ever had that happen where somebody actually left a deposit and then ghosts after that, but I hope everything's okay. So it was weird. Weird for that kind of thing to happen. So then I had this one scheduled for 2:30, so I got some stuff done in the meantime, and then here we are. We still get a live stream, so that's cool. Use clear school glue. I never liked the idea of using clear glue. I saw earlier on, I saw examples of like a year or two down the road. There were like some cheaper glues that people would use, and then they would turn yellow. So it would be like a quick fix, but I don't know if it'll hold up to the UV long term. It says it's getting constant sun exposure. It's not under the film. Well, it is. It's on the inside. So it's like you have the glass, the dot matrix, then you have that glue layer filling in, and then you have the tint. So it's not protected by any UV. So I didn't want to do it for that reason amount. Do you have any tips on a Volvo 245 rear side window? That's way too specific. I have no idea on that one. You're probably not going to find a video on it either. Just find similar types of videos. Daniel Reyna. Did that show up on stream? There it is. Daniel Reyna with a 15. What's up, buddy? Must depot. Does your floor lend itself to a rollable stool? The floor is okay with rollable stools. I actually don't have like the really common. I used to use them, but I just don't have one. It'll kind of work for the most part. Like you can still roll on it, but it's not going to be as smooth. You have those ridges in between. It'll still roll, but just not as smoothly. So if you can get some bigger casters on a stool, that would work way better, like some big rubbery caster wheels or something. Those would work much better. But like the smaller ones, the smaller they are, the more they're going to fit in those grooves, though. What's up? See, I want to do this, and then, there was one thing. Oh, wait, I want to try something. I don't know if this is going to work. What should I try this with? I don't know how to stop it. I guess we can try it with one of my videos really quick. So what I want to try is an idea that I have. Be thin for the group. So we're gonna switch to a different screen really quick. It's just an idea, but I don't know if it'll work. So if it doesn't, you'll know pretty quickly. I don't know if that's going to work. Is that going to do anything? It doesn't look like it's working. Dang. I don't know how else to try this out. I'm going to have to try this out like after hours or something. But I don't want to go live just to try this out. Maybe I'll set up a different channel and try this out. Doesn't seem like it's working though. So I wanted to try like a media share type of thing. As far as I know, it's all set up right. Could you do one of those videos where you get the stuff to tint in one store, like Target and Amazon one? I want to do that more with some Amazon stuff. The other ones kind of, like a couple of them did well. So if they're more what you would expect, like Amazon, eBay, Wish, any of those should do pretty well, actually. So I do have in mind to do some of those. Washington with the 2. Matt the goat. Aw. Thanks, buddy. With the goat emoji. Oh, that's cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. I forgot that they have animal emojis sometimes. How would I... See, then I have to look up... This is something for another time. But the only way that I can try this was, like, doing this while I'm live to make sure that the thing worked. Let me pop into my studio really quick. Sorry. What is the best way to remove protective film on the tint? That really struggling to remove it? Best way to remove the protective film on the tint. Oh, I use my teeth, and I don't bite it. You shift it just lightly, just, and then it'll come off. The other way is with your fingernail. It is difficult when you're first starting out, but cut off little pieces and just keep trying it over and over, and then you'll get the hang of it. Can we get a more in-depth of how to Frankenstein? It's still such a hassle. Yeah, I mean, I can try and talk about it a little bit. It's one of those things, too, that, like, all this, you have to practice a bunch. So when you lift it up off the car, it's like you want to stick with the same type of hand motion. So if I do this on the driver's side, I'm a mess. If I do this on the passenger side, that's the side I always carried in. That's the side that it works out really well for me. You might also want to look into reverse rolling. So there's some people that just have a lot of problems with the Frankenstein method, but reverse rolling is a lot easier to kind of get a handle on. So I don't do it on back windows personally, but there are a lot of people that like reverse rolling on back windows still. Settings, community. See, they're a moderator. Do I just set them as an approved user? I don't know. I don't think so. I can set them as an approved user. I don't know if that'll work. Maybe. I'm going to schedule an appointment with you soon to have my front done on my Grand Cherokee. It'd be sweet if you streamed it. That'd be cool. For sure. If we can do the windshield too. So just front doors, I typically don't stream because it's kind of a lot to put together a live stream. But I do like doing front doors with a full windshield. So if we're adding a full windshield, it'll be streamed for sure. I like to do reverse roll. Yeah, there's a lot of people. Do you do gaming? No, I don't have time for gaming, especially on this channel either. It's just live with window tint. Woohoo! Alrighty, I guess we should probably get started. Wow, lots of goats in chat. Alrighty. Good stuff. Let me put that there. We gotta get some work done now. Let's get shocked. This. Your videos have definitely helped me start my own tint business. Oh, glad to hear it. That's awesome. Darn, looking to have the brow done on the windshield? If you want to add a full windshield. I mean, that's the only problem. Like, I'd love to just stream the front doors, but it's like, it's a lot to put together, and I like to keep these framed around an hour and a half to 2.5 hours. And just doing the front doors with a strip, it's just real quick in and out, and there isn't a lot to, like, go over. But a full windshield is where, like, there's a little bit more substance for the live stream there. I've thought about having something just for the studio. Or just on the studio thing, but not on the YouTube. Quick Shade with the 5. How's the baby doing? Good to see you again, buddy. Thank you. Baby's doing really good. He's at the point now where he's starting to like recognize us a lot more. So my wife can make him laugh a lot now. So he's He was really cute. For some reason, your videos help me sleep. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. But they help, so I guess that's a good thing, right? Could you make a video on putting double tint on the windows and what the darkest tint you'd have in the car? That's not going to be a dedicated video anytime soon. You could definitely double tint. It's going to look a lot like just tinting. It's just you can't use like a razor or a scraper on the existing layer of tint. So the darkest, I don't know. Darkest, like I'll go really dark on the sides. I just really have limits for like the full windshield. Are we good? Are we all GoPro? How's that? Good, bad, sound working, maybe? I think. Oh, we need this. I need this. Canon. Do you ever cut yourself while tinting? I've done more from just paper cuts from window film than anything. I don't really usually cut myself with a knife. I have cut myself with blades before, but most of it's from like a tint paper cut. GoPro. If the stream's getting blurry, there's a good chance that it's your internet connection and not my end. I hope, anyways. Sometimes YouTube has like transcoding problems too, but not all that often. They're usually pretty good. What? What's the difference between Avery NR and GeoShield Pro Classic? There's not a lot. They come from different manufacturers. So GeoShield, I think, shrinks a little smoother and a little faster. Avery NR is still a great shrinking film, but Avery NR peels clean. That's like the main advantage, I'd say, and that's an installer thing. So if you ever have to like redo a window, you're gonna have a much easier time with Avery NR. But they're both solid color stable films. Pro Classic has been around a lot longer, so it's more proven. Avery NR's only been around, I think, like a couple years at this point. But it's not showing any signs of failure, so they're both going to be very good film. Very good film. They're both going to be really good films. You can't go wrong with either one of them. I was a big fan of Avery NR. I wanted to go all in on one brand for my film lines. So that's why we're using GeoShield now. What do you think? Should we Dotrix this one? We'll probably Dotrix this one. It'll look better. I just hate trying to stick it on the inside. That's what really drives me crazy. Is like when the Dotrix sticks really easily. So what would you recommend for sizes? I'll carry around 36 and 24s. Usually you can get most done with that. 20s are nice to have for convenience, but you can do most doors on most sedan doors on a 36-inch roll. You'll just split it. Ooh, good timing. Canon. Daniel Reyna with a 5. Thanks, buddy. Just got a bunch of Tint Wiz Just got a bunch of towels from Tint Wiz, free purple triages, stickers, and a bunch of candy. These guys are awesome. That's awesome, man. That's super cool. Yeah. I've been seeing how much stuff that they've been giving to the community. It's really cool. They're a big supporter of this channel too. So I got the towels. They're super fluffy. We actually use we use a couple of them for the baby. They're awesome bath towels for sure. GoPro. There we go. Yeah, they're so fluffy. I'm a little sad. I never got the triages. I missed those for sure. I wore out, I think, all of them except for one. And I think I have it here. Yeah, I do. I have it right here. But it's nice, and I don't want to, like, ruin it. All right, so let's prop open the doors. Do we have to put a battery charger? I think we might have to put a battery charger on this. Let's scoop some of this stuff out of the way real quick. We gotta take these headrests out. Way to do that is with a little pokey. So we gotta pop the trunk. What's the biggest difference between cheap and expensive film? The biggest is gonna be how long the film lasts. So you could actually have two films side by side on a car. You could have really expensive ceramic, and you could have really cheap whatever film. And without like a heat bulb, I couldn't tell you. Oh, that's what we forgot. We didn't update the titles on all the videos except YouTube. Oh yeah, this isn't a Silverado. My bad. That's what I forgot. But anyways, I could have a really cheap eBay film, and I could have a really expensive ceramic. And side by side, without a heat bulb, I couldn't tell you which one is which. That's kind of like the big downer on window film. There's gonna be some differences, but just like if you're standing on the outside of the car and you're looking at it, it's like you couldn't really tell me which one is which just by the appearance. They're both gonna look pretty good. So what it actually comes down to, the biggest difference is gonna be longevity and then performance, so what you feel. So there is gonna be optical clarity on some of those too, but if you have a halfway decent dyed film, it's gonna look fine, but then a year down the road, it's gonna purple, it's gonna bubble, it's gonna fade, it's gonna look like trash, and it's gonna cost you a lot of money down the road. So you save a couple bucks today, but you get burned later down the road. So that's why you really wanna avoid cheaper films, especially on like back windows and stuff. Those are gonna be expensive. All right, so we got this prepped. We need our film. Whoa. How do you deal with Mercedes quarter windows? I couldn't tell you offhand. That gets way too specific. Without an actual Mercedes here, with that specific quarter window, there's not much I could tell you on that one. You just deal with them however it looks like you do. Take a picture and post it in the group. You'll have a lot more input on that. Yes, we are doing Pro Classic. We're doing 35 on the front, and we're doing 20 on the back. I used to do a ton of these. We used to get like herds of these. It was a good day when I had 3 fusions in a day. And then they updated it, and I was sad. These and like the older chargers were some of my favorites to get like a lot. Or no, the 300s, the older 300s. Older Fusions, older 300s, older Malibus. Those are like some of my favorite ones when I was starting. So there's just quicker, straightforward cars. So you have pretty open gaskets on these. The windows aren't super curved. I think the most curve is really on these front doors. Was it 2012? Yeah, up to 2012 I think is when they changed. But yeah, a lot of room on these, which is nice. And that's when we make a fool of ourselves, right? And then we mess up. And then that's when this gets, when it goes to hell, is when we start out all cocky. Jettas aren't fun. That's most of what I can say. They're not super fun when you're new. You just kind of, like, it's something you just have to deal with. I actually had one the other day. It was last Friday. It was a full removal. I got in there, and they were like, yeah, here's the keys. It's a Jetta. It's a complete removal and retint. I'm like, fuck you guys. And they're like, what? What? I've talked about them before. Don't start me off with a full removal on a Jedi. It took it took so long. Just the removals. It's like, if you don't have other appointments showing up, they're fine, I guess, because it's something to do. But then if like you have other appointments and then that one turns into removal, it's just like, they take up, oh my God, they just take up so much time. Boo-doo-boo. You know what's funny is the serious stickers never seem to go bad. But yet, a cheap window film goes bad within like a year. Why can't they make this window film like they do? Like, how much do you think they put into making that serious sticker? But yeah, window tint. Super chat. Dang. Who was that? I don't know what the name is yet. But thank you. I appreciate that. Alrighty. Let's make this straight. Straight as we can. You can see we didn't cut all the way down, so we're gonna fix that. There we go. I missed some of those comments. I was talking. It happens a lot, where I'm saying something, and then the chat's moving, and then I stop talking, and then everybody's quiet, and then it's crickets. Oh, what? Oh, we have a problem. We have a big problem, actually. Hang on. This car has, like, no battery, I think. It's got no juice. Are the lights on? Ooh, I could have had the lights on. We just turned it on, though. Here. That's gonna die. That's definitely gonna die. So, we're going to... We're gonna pop this open. And we're gonna get the old charger. I've got a jump charger, so that's good. Canon. Sorry, 1 second. We have another cord. Go for it. Cool. Sorry, it's a mess back there. Oh yeah, we're not using this anyway today. Sorry, boys. Have you thought about getting a vinyl cutter? Never. I technically own one. Yeah, I don't have a use for it right now, other than making some videos. So that's why I haven't really done anything with it. There is a growing interest, though. So, like, we should probably do that sometime. But it's not going to be anything that I use on the daily. So it's just going to kind of sit. So we are going to be charging this battery because it's probably going to let me down soon. I didn't realize it was that close, but I think I did have the lights on too, so that doesn't help. But any battery that's close to dying, you gotta charge. I did have that thought though. I was like, I probably should do something about it. And then I didn't. I wish there was like an in-between though, but unfortunately there's not. So that should help. Give it a little trickle, and then we got a jump charger if we need to. Good deal. So that's 35. So from what I remember, this is like the most curved section. That's usually where I would have a finger after the fact. So they're nothing crazy, but I would just like snap it a little bit, and then I'd always have a finger there. But then this one's not. It varies. $20. Oh, I hope I have enough for tomorrow. We gotta check out GME. I gotta see what it's doing. It just started to rocket back up. I think it hit just under 150 again. That sucker's. It's gonna get exciting this weekend. Let's see. To the moon. Why did I hold one knife and then I have the other knife and I'm still chewing on? Yeah, these gaskets. These are the funky gaskets. So I gotta chop one. That's really like the best way that I think to do them. Just do like a clean cut on them. Slice out the rubber a little bit. Yeah, not really much sliding on that, so that's good. The Ford Fusion King. Woo! We've had a couple of them. I think we've had quite a few Fusion streams. Eventually you run out of things to say on it, but that's okay. There's always something. Just a smidge. Just a smidge. Come on. Get it. There we go. Stay. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Canon. I've wrapped and tinted my car myself. I've been wanting to get a job doing that. You're based in Michigan, right? Yeah, I am. That's Detroit Tint Studio. We're in Sterling Heights. I'm in. I always say we, but it's me. I'm in Sterling Heights. Where are we at? Did it fall back down? Oh, dang! GME. Oh, it's got a half an hour to go and I can't watch it today. It's been doing this. So GameStop. It is. I don't know if you can see that. It's coming back. It's been consolidating for a week at a level that is like surprising. It's going back. Matt, I bought some Tint Wiz towels. I love them, but they seem to leave a few fibers. I'm tinting in a mechanic shop. Have you experienced this? Yes. Yes, they do. They definitely leave some fibers behind. They're better after you wash them, but even then, they still leave like little fibers behind. I've said this with pretty much any towels that I use. You don't have to really worry about a lot of fibers being left behind and stuff because how you tint the windows is really what gets, like, your technique really brings in dirt. So having them leave some fibers behind is, in my opinion, is not a big deal. Just wash them a couple times. That'll definitely help out with them. But yeah, they do. They're a little fiber, but they're so soft. I mean, they're so soft. I think there's some that are better at absorbing water too, but I like them. GoPro. We're gonna keep an eye. I gotta keep an eye on it. Where are we at? It's dipping again. Dang. I tried doing a truck window, and I messed up. Any tips? Is it the quarter window with is it like the little front vent window, like on the old school trucks? If that's the case, or like the back quarter windows on like the old but not quite as old F-150s or F2, yeah, F-150s, F-250s. Any tips would be get the stuff out of the way if you can, or just keep throwing patterns at it until you get it. And that's unfortunately a lot of the window specific tips. I mean, window tinting is a lot of frustration. Window tinting is a lot of frustration in practice. What was that? The back quarters with the latch on an F550? Oh, fuck that. That's what I would say if I get the job. I'm like, oh, fuck me. You're gonna, like, look, you either cut around them and it looks okay, or you have to remove them. Anything else is like those are the two situations that you're looking at. So sometimes it depends on how old, but the hardware is going to be like rusted and they're not going to want to just pop off. So I've had glass shop tell me that it's just like they wouldn't trust taking out the old rusted ones in fear of shattering the windows. So, like, pick and choose your battles. That is not one that I will die on a hill for. Because they're just, like, what's the point? I would remove them and then the screws would mess up the tint. Oh, well, there's your problem. You need to bake the windows or cut relief spots so the tint's not butt up against the film anymore. Like, again, those are your two options. So if you tint them and the tint is like, and like the screws is causing the film to like twist, as the film's not dry, so you have to bake them so it dries out, and then you could get away with like putting them on, but the screws are still going to dig into the film. So you might as well just cut like relief circles around where it is, or just put the screws on looser. Because those screws are not meant to butt up. Those screws aren't meant to butt up against film. They're meant to butt up against glass. 35. What was that? How come you don't wear a mustache anymore for your fans? Do you not care about us anymore? How does that have anything to do with not caring? I'm here, I'm streaming. No, that was the old, like, window tint stuff logo. And it was a lot of fun. But I just opted to do something else down the road, so I don't know. I liked it, but what I never liked about it was that it had nothing to do with window tinting. It was just kind of like a mustache that said tint stuff. So while, like, it's fun, I don't know what else to do. Is that loud? You know, I get asked about this more than anything now. I'm just going to become a rep for Carpet Shield, but find different industries to put it in. And people be like, what is that? Just be a Carpet Shield rep. Oh, dang. I forgot about this. I gotta fill this with some warm waters. How much do you charge for that car? This one was $240. I need to put a sink in here. I think I've said that ever since I moved in. But I'm not exactly a plumber. But I did plumb that, which isn't much. Get some hot water going. All right, cool. So this, I like to fill with hot water and then leave that in there so that it gets warm, because right now it's cold. Do you take, Canon, do you take your edge just inside the rubber on the quarters on that car, or do you try and tint the whole? Or do you try and, oh wait, oh, chat scrolling, sorry. Or do you try and tint the whole quarter? I'm gonna tint the whole quarter, but we're going to trim out a little bit of the seal. $200 worth it? Yeah, 200's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Did my first set of 2 doors, all from you. He paid me $60. Whoop, got to start somewhere. Oh, that's awesome, man. No, 60 for front doors isn't bad. I'd say it's definitely on the cheaper side of things, but I mean, look at what you paid for the film. But, you know, just remember it's a skill that you learn, and then you charge for the skill. So, good luck, man. That's awesome, though. All right. Cool. What is it doing? We are 20 minutes from market close. So this is where things get interesting. Oh my God, it's trending up. That's exciting. So, see that right there? That's what you want to see, with a nice gradual, like even with the dips, they start getting higher and higher. It's been looking strong all day. Dang, tomorrow's going to be fun. A lot of options contracts are expiring tomorrow. They're going to recall those shares. Oh boy, GME to the moon. Dyed carpet shield. What? How should I go about pricing? There's quite a few ways you could do it. GoPro. I said that because I wasn't sure what else to say yet. So as far as pricing, you can kind of just see what people are doing in your area, because you're new and people are going to be calling around and they're going to get other quotes and stuff like that. But you kind of want to see what's going on in your market area. So it's a little bit more expensive at most places up here in the north, but it's cheaper down south, depending on where you are. It doesn't mean you can't be more expensive down south. It's just this kind of like, you know, supply, demand, market saturation and all of that. I will say, when you're new, you'll get frustrated because you get lots of people that are just calling you for a price because they don't know you. So if you're a little bit more expensive, it can be a grind to get started. And it just depends on who you know, too. Some people just have good friends and good referrals. So a lot of window tinting business is like referrals. So look in your market, call around, see what other people are doing, check on some stuff. Just kind of see what your costs are and go from there. Like me, I got told 3 times today. Like, hi, I was wondering how much it is to get my windows tinted. And then you tell them, and they're just like, oh, okay, thank you. So referrals are huge. So I haven't had a lot of luck with like Facebook Marketplace and stuff. I've been getting way more calls than anything. But generally speaking, lately, it's been a lot of people not finding the media first, and that puts me on the same playing field as everybody else. People just want tint. They just think I'm whatever like everybody else. So I have my own fun struggles. but you'll get there. It's not all sunshine and rainbows every day. But I did add a way to take deposits on my site. So I've been using that, and that's fun. Because then it's like, it wastes less time. It's like, okay, cool. This is when you want to get it done. Go to this link, click on this link, leave a deposit for that time slot, and you'll be all good to go. And that also, like off of the phone, you could text them a link. And then it exposes them to a little bit more of what I do by visiting the site rather than just like phone calls and not knowing anything about it. How dark is allowed? Nothing on the front doors except the top 4 inches, and then as dark as you want on the back. So it's all legal with a medical note, though. Do you Cash App and Venmo? Yeah, I have those, and I have been using Cash App more. It just depends on what people had. So the only thing that I don't like, that I wanted to improve about that whole system was like I wanted to make it as easy for everybody as I could. So if you want to leave a deposit, it's like, yeah, just shoot me whatever off of Cash App, whatever, this, that, the other thing. The only thing I didn't like was like having to keep typing in information and stuff. So it's like I'd have to like find their handle or have them find mine. Like if it's on Cash App, it was fine. But if it was like PayPal, it was always a bit of a process. So having something on the site that still accepts like a wide variety of payment options, I think is a really easy way to do it. Then you're just always shooting them the same link, and then it's your website. So once you get somebody on your site, you can dress it up however you want. You have a lot more advantage if you're a little bit more media focused. I'm seeing a little wiggle here. So I'm gonna make sure this is locked down beforehand. I might wanna heat up this top edge. I didn't plan this, but I have this laying around. I usually just use a heat gun, but I have a reason that I'm gonna try and learn the torch more. Stay. Just let it sit for a second. There we go. I had the torch from like a little while back, and then I find it like I kept forgetting it in the garage. Finally remembered to bring it over. But I was gonna try and do something with YouTube Shorts, so that's why I have it right now. I haven't done anything with YouTube Shorts yet, but that's why it's here. So, or that's why I thought to do it over here. I'm not using it for the back window, though. Not yet. I don't know if I'll really get into it again. I might just do it for fun here and there. I'd be nervous that... So there's like there's a few reasons why I like the torch and why using it on stream is a little weird. Thank you for the $5 super chat. You're not using the yellow flat out? Not on this job. So I had, in the last stream I had, what did we use? We used a flat out with with some Teflon tape on it, and it kind of failed, and then my flat out was leaving streaks. So I don't have like a perfect flat out right now, but I did have a couple of clear crushes, and I know I had used it. I just going through like a reminder phase right now of like I use the Blue Max, I use the orange crush, use the clear crush, like just like why did I like or not like these? Sometimes I forget. So I'm using it just to play around with it again. But thank you for the 5. Oh, but anyways, so with the torch, it's not something I plan on bringing into my daily routine. So there are a couple of reasons that I don't want to use it is like it's not the norm. It's not what most people are going to learn for using. So I like to use things that most people are going to, like, you know, if you're starting out, these are some of the things that I would use. I wouldn't recommend anybody start out with a torch. But a torch doesn't actually, like, if you use, you got to remember, like, glass is stronger than window tint. So you're going to fry the window tint way before you risk the glass. So while it looks kind of crazy to, like, shrink the window film with the torch, the glass is not actually getting hotter. The glass gets hotter with a heat gun versus a torch because the heat gun's slower and gives the glass a longer time because it sits in one spot more, it shrinks slower, so the heat's focused in an area more. So it'll just gradually get warmer and warmer and warmer, where with the torch, you're moving so quick, you're not actually giving the glass much of a chance to heat up at all. So I've seen the glass actually stay colder overall from using a torch. But from like a customer side of things, it kind of looks crazy. So somebody with a brand new car, that's like the downside again, might not want to see somebody like, what the fuck, are you going to burn my car up? So it's got that like shock factor to it, which is fun and not always fun. So I'm still going to use a heat gun. But there's times that I want to start using the torch a little bit more. And I definitely want to do like some fun YouTube shorts if I think of a good thing to do with the torch. Because it's very like eye-catching. I saw a video about YouTube shorts. YouTube shorts can be really, really, really helpful. Chat, where do we get the clear stuff for the door panels? I'm gonna let chat do it for me. You guys take it over for me. I'm done. I'm just done. You see how much of a need there was for it, though? That's what really makes me funny. Is like, there's a few solutions out there. Yeah, people are still asking about this because this is easy and quick. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. So, I saw the options that are out there. And there's still nothing that quite like, you know, there were microfiber towels. You need like a plastic solution, but you need a good way for it to get on the door panel. And like the biggest problem is like you either take out the seal and try and like stuff something in there to help create that like seal. Or you like tape it. I don't want to tape it. It's just, ugh. Just another thing. I just get it and slap it on there and keep going. When did you know you were a professional? I don't know. Some days I still don't feel like a professional. Some days I just like not hack it up, but like you make those mistakes over and over and just like, fuck, I just suck at this. You're always learning, you're always improving and stuff like that. So there's never going to be this clear time that you're like, yeah, I'm awesome at tinting. At least I don't think. Oh, did we get that? Damn. Nice. I'm a professional now. So it took me about a good year to where I felt more competent. But there's people that'll learn it faster than I did. I really didn't learn it all that fast. Always learning. Like we still what? We messed up like cart or ceramic like a bunch on stream before. I wouldn't say that. Have you seen the online course that they're trying to sell? It's like 800. I wouldn't say it's a ripoff. There's a lot of value in well-structured courses. Like comparative to everything else that's out there, if you actually follow and talk to people that are trying to learn, like there's people that are asking all the time here, Canon, like how do I do this? What do you do about this? It's like there's not really any good structured courses other than probably that one. It's like the only one that maybe exists. And then you got like Stan Foster's DVD set, I think. I haven't looked at either of them, but there's a ton of good reviews. And whatever money you invest in learning, you're going to make that back really, really quick. So yeah, it's $800, but like, I mean, how soon are you going to make it back? That's what it's about. So if you weren't making money doing it before, and all of a sudden you clear $1,000 in a week, would you, like, I don't know, that sounds like it's worth it to me. Canon. GoPro. And you got like 2K in gear? Do I? Let me think. So the GoPro, let's see, what's the, okay, we're gonna do this, but let me think. So the HDMI streamer was expensive. Oh yeah, we can do this. The HDMI streamer thingy was $650. The GoPro was $350 or $400, and then a couple of cables and some batteries and stuff. So I'm all in a little bit over $1,000 on the stuff on my head. Ooh, you can use these to shrink. Not that it really like you use a felt card still. You don't need to use this. I wouldn't say this is better, but I just thought it was funny. You can shrink with them. Wait, what? I love the videos. It's my favorite TV show. When people ask me what I love to watch, they say map. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I try. Yeah, so like felt card versus this, these are actually pretty similar. These are a little bit harder, so they're more like a regular card. But what's cool is you're not actually going to like, I haven't ran into like hitting a speck and ripping through the film. And they slide without needing to like make the film wet. Whereas like a normal squeegee is like, if it's dry, it's gonna like really, it's gonna grab it. Thought it was fun. You don't need to use them for shrinking. I just thought it was fun. Okay, so we gotta do that quarter. So what we're gonna do on these, this is a little bit of an older thing now. We're in 2021. There's not as many of these on the road. But we got to do this quarter. So I used to do this the hacky way. So I used to actually just say there's no way to tint all back in here. You only can tint up to here. And then there was tons of gaps on the road. Wasn't super proud of it. Wasn't super happy. But that's just, you know, you get them out the door. That's just what they were. There's enough other people doing them. Since then, I have learned that you can trim them out and they still look okay. So I wouldn't say I'm necessarily incredibly proud of doing this, but I think it's one of those, like, it's a little modification that you can make to a car where, yes, we like to return everything as is, but every once in a while you gotta do something, and that's just the way it is. So take like a 30-degree blade, and we're just gonna trim out this section of the film, or of the gasket. And we're just gonna try and keep it really clean at an angle. And we're just gonna try and get it decently cut back enough and looking real straight so it's not all wonky. And then that's pretty much all we're doing. So that way we can now get into the seal without causing any headaches. And because we're tinting it, we'll still be okay. So if you're okay with that, I'd say that's up to you or not. If you want to do that as a tint shop, that's up to you. There's probably going to be some haters about this, but I don't know. To me, that frees up enough room. You still got like a long ways to like tuck in there, but you're not going to have that ugly gap on it. You're not going to have a bunch of creases, not going to have a bunch of crinkles. You don't have to take apart. You don't have to take the door apart or anything like that. So we will get this all cleaned up. We will flush it out because the rest of that rubber, if you look at the way this water like flushes in there, it's actually all open. It's not actually like sealed up there. It's just like that light press up against here and then all that's exposed. So I like to give them a good flush. Good clean, because it's been like this for a long time. And then we'll cut out our pattern, and then we'll slide in the film and see how it looks. This tutorial probably should have been out there a good number of years ago at this point. But it is what it is. So if you edge this just right, you can actually make this really clean. So you got a lot of room at the bottom, so you can give it a nice gap at the bottom. And then butt the film up right to where you're gonna make your cut, and then it doesn't bunch up all in that corner. That's an amazing trick, thanks for that. Oh, you're welcome. I'm still on the fence. Like, I'm not proud of having to do that. As a tinner, I like to leave everything as is. But, like, it looks so clean anyways that, like, I've never had an issue with it. Okay, now that we have that, we can pull it over just a little bit. That way we don't have any gaps on our installation. Probably leave it a little smidge down, actually, so we can cut this just right. Oh, it fell back over. Oh, wait, no, we're good. How does it feel to be your own boss? Well, it's nice. It's nice to be able to, like, just kind of, like, set your own day. But I mean, you still got to get everything done too. So I don't feel like a lot has changed. I still have Tuesdays and Fridays. That's the last thing that I'm going to cut off. And then we're scot-free. But having an actual playground feels good. Like a quiet place that I can do whatever videos that I want. I can stream. I can, like, it's my own little playground. That's cool. And it's probably my favorite part about it all. It's quiet. All right, let's throw this in there. Just like we did before, we're flushing it out. We've already cleaned it out a bunch. Make sure this is, just give it a good bath. So, hopefully this goes right the first time. But you want to kind of taco it a little bit. And just scooch it in. You have a little ways to bring it down. So you can kind of like do it at a little bit of an angle. And if it pinched anywhere for me, generally it was right in here with the way that I had it. So once it's sliding in there, that's what you want to see. You want to see it moving around, wiggle, wiggle. Everything's going to kind of fall in place. Make sure all your edges are covered. Good dealy. We brought it down a little bit. Probably could have gone down a little bit farther even if we really wanted to. And then we're looking for our, well, I thought I had it. There it is. For a little squeegee. Fix it in place. And the rest from here on out is very straightforward. You have to dig. You have to kind of dig in there to like get the rest of this to come out, and that's what really would screw you up too if you still had that rubber. So you can let it sit, you can let it dry a little bit. And then just take it easy. It really will press in there. So give it a little bit to kind of tack up. We'll probably just let this sit for a minute and then come back. And then really work at all these farther bubbles out. Just make sure, unless we can just get it in one swoop now. Yeah, right there. I'm gonna let it sit for a minute. Everything else should be okay though. Just that guy right there. Good deal. We can finish that up. You've answered like 4 of my questions today. Oh, that's cool. You're welcome. Yeah, like if you guys have questions, like this is the best way to ask me about them. That's why these are fun for me too. Like I can talk a lot while I'm actually working. It doesn't really slow me down a whole lot. The things that slow me down are the technicals. So if we start having stream problems, Canon, that's what screws me up. Then I walk away from my phone for a minute. Where did we end up? Where did we end up on the day with GME? Oh, not as exciting. Still a good day. 132 on the close. It had a high of 147. Good God, it is just gaining some momentum. Tomorrow's going to be real interesting. Well, I guess we didn't lose out on anything. Glad to see you're back streaming. Yeah, we had a little bit of a break. Not by choice. Just slower. Do you ever shrink with a torch, or do you stick to the heat gun? Generally, I just stick to a heat gun. I like shrinking with a heat gun. What did you buy GME at? GoPro. All right, so a little bit of GME. I bought GME at 80. Ah, we got a super chat. Was that just a super chat? Was that just a super chat? Daniel Reyna with the 5. Thank you so much. I bought GME. So I want to talk about this a little bit. So I bought GME at, initially I bought it at 80 on a downtrend after all the hype and stuff like that. So I had completely ignored the market for like quite a while. And then everybody was talking about GME, but it was gaining traction in areas that I was just really surprised to see. And I thought it was just a meme. But I did a little bit more digging after the fact. So I just I bought it at 80. It spiked to like 150, 190 or something like that day. I don't know. It had a huge spike. So I was like, oh, cool. And I thought it was going to go back up. Well, it just dropped and dropped and dropped. Kind of died off. And I was like, I'm just going to hold it. And we'll just see what happens. Because I don't think it's done yet. And then I started reading into it. And holy shit. They have it so overshorted and so many calls bought, and there's just no shares that are going to be available when they need to go find those shares. With the float that it's had, it's got 40 to 50 million actively traded. So it's overshorted I don't know, there's supposedly 240 million shares estimated that have contracts written for it and they only have 70 in existence. So anyways, I'm only going to talk about this for a minute longer. I bought at, when I found that out, I got I have 85 shares in total, and my average is 60. So I'm just sitting, waiting for that sucker to eventually blow up, which I think this weekend's going to be really interesting. Oh, that's over. So the day I bought a lot at 40, 45, and then later that day it started to take off. So I got lucky in that part, but you guys are not done hearing about GME. GameStop is going to make headlines for a little while now. But yeah, I've had my nose buried in GME for a little while now, so that kind of stuff's fun for me to talk about because it becomes a hobby. To the moon. All right, let's clay-bar this. I probably should have used the towel afterwards. Sometimes I mess those up. Yeah, that. I don't know. I forgot why I don't like... Chat, what did I just put on the door? I forgot why I don't use a clear crush. I'm expecting it to wear out and start leaving streaks or something like the orange crush. I know it's really soft. I wish it wasn't quite as soft. But its squeegee's really smooth. It's just definitely soft. Yeah, so if we look at this, you guys see how much room there is? How's it working with Avery versus GeoShield and 3M? 3M, it depends on the line of film. So if crystalline, like that's what some people jump to. I didn't have much of a problem with like the color stable other than it was very blue. And I was really always confused about that. If you were just tinting a car completely in color stable, you'd be fine. But matching front doors was always an issue with that. Very blue. There isn't a huge difference between working with the two. I mean, both NR and Geo have a pretty aggressive adhesive. Geo, I think, shrinks a little bit easier. Avery's got the glue that removes easily, so if you ever have to redo something down the road, it's much easier to redo something with Avery NR than it is with Geo. But they're both going to be similar. Good films. I like both of them. I have no regrets about using NR for as long as they did. I'd still use it. I was sad about their boxes, though. Why'd they have to make their boxes look ugly? There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Answer me that. They didn't have the prettiest looking boxes, but when they were Haneda Tech, they looked cooler. I thought Solar Zone was a bit cheesy, but then they went to like the cheapo boxes. I mean, am I going to do that with brown boxes? I don't think so. I don't think so. So anybody that still invests in their pretty boxes, I appreciate it. It's the little things. How much do I make a day? I'm not going to say, but exactly, but it varies per day. You have good days and you have bad days. As a tinner, I get like, you know, as a runaround tinner, I was making 50% at the highest. And that was really good money. But I still had to supply the film and stuff like that too. So wholesale, like I'd make usually 160. No, it was less than that, wasn't it? It was like 100-ish per car. So it's like you finish out the week with like anywhere from like two to 3 grand, depending on the week. If it was slower, it could be under $1,000. So in the wintertime, there was a lot more running around and infrequent jobs. And then summertime, it was kind of go, 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 go. So you averaged out the year with anywhere from like 70 to 90. I think the highest one year when I was a mobile tinner was like 95. But that's with no overhead, no shop, none of that. So there's a lot more things to take into account now, and it's very new. So it's different. It's definitely different, but it's better in other ways, worse in some ways. But we're getting there. I think we'll be pretty busy soon enough. Oh, that's what that was. I was like, that was a lot. That was a lot of things to sound with just the simple press of a lock. Do you paint cars? No. GoPro. Dang, I don't know when that changed. Looking pretty good. We got one more door, and we got the back glass. Is your green squeegee flexible? Yes. It's, I don't really have any, I guess I could, let's see, what do we got? It's a little harder, it's definitely harder than like if you use an orange crush, it's harder than that. But I'd say it's softer than a flat out. Yeah, it's softer than a flat out for sure. It's different. It's like, this has been like sanded down, so this is a little bit different. So it's not a typical like handled type squeegee, so it's gonna slide on the glass a little bit differently. But yeah, it's got a decent amount of flex to it. It's very solid. It's like a silicone rubber. They're very nice. They turned out so nice. You're welcome. Scrape, scrape, scrape. See how much room? Who makes them? I make them. I brew them in the back. I put all the ingredients in a big cauldron and I stir it up. And I pour it. And then it... No, it's a Chinese manufacturer. But they do a good job. I ordered a butt ton of them. Yeah, so that's why you're seeing them all over the place. They're not, they're maybe like a little different hardness and stuff like that, but they're similar to like a handful of, like, you know, the pink ones. The Tint Wiz has like their version of it too. They all come from like a Chinese supplier that came out with them themselves. So I ordered my version of it. I really like it. It's fun. But yeah, I'd have it. It's something that like, dang, I've wanted my own like squeegee tool thingy for like a long time, but there's like, there's no, sorry. It's very expensive to have anything made in the US, and it's just one of the harsh realities of like, you know, tint tools, like everything requires a certain amount of R&D and manufacturing tools and costs and stuff like that. And it's just, there's not a huge market for window tint tools on a specific tool. They all together sell a lot, but it's like, it's gotta make sense at the end of the day. And it's just really hard to have something developed and cross your fingers, and that's the way manufacturing is going anyways and has been for a very long time. So it's really hard to like stay ahead unless you're going like all in on being like a squeegee manufacturer and stuff like that. So I remember hearing the numbers for like, I think Tint Wiz, they spent over, on their initial run of triages to get that done, they spent over eight grand to get all those done. So there's just like a giant cost involved. I forgot exactly where I was going with that. Oh, somebody said, anybody that's saying that, anybody's saying that they're not coming out of China is, you're talking about exact copies, or that's where they're coming from. And it's... I've seen some pretty convincing knockoffs out of China, but these are 100% China made across the board. You're using a clear crush now? Yeah, for this job right now. I haven't changed my favorite squeegee yet. We're taking a little tour around squeegees that I used to use, and I'm trying to remember if I stopped using Clear Crush for any specific reason other than it's soft. I really like it. It is soft. But I was going to use the Orange Crush a little bit more, and then it started leaving like rubber streaks on the window. So I stopped using it. The flat out will nick eventually, but I just didn't have a flat out at the time. So we're like Blue Max, I had one, a fresh one. I nicked that up pretty quickly. I used the Orange Crush and then, yellow flat out with what was it? With the Teflon tape, and now we're using Clear Crush. All right, so if anybody's wondering now, if anybody's new, wondering what I'm doing here, I am trimming this just the end so we can slide the film in and then we can squeegee it out clean. Again, I'm not super proud of having to do this, but it looks really good at the end, and to me that looks clean, so that's why we do that. I'd say it's like the similar modification to like the Range Rovers. There we go. Ever used the red line? Yeah, for like 2 seconds, and then I nicked it, and then I was very unhappy. I have one. It's like the Blue Max except harder. And you see how clean it looks? And this medium hard 6, like, such bullshit. Like, I know why they did it. I'm not mad at them, but it's like, look, you get these two, right? Medium hard 6, medium hard 6. That makes you think like the red line is going to be the same hardness as this. I guess they technically are, but you use this thing, this is so much harder because of the material that it's made of. It's just like, these are just like the Blue Max, but harder. So I'd use a Blue Max still in its place, but I nicked the red line so fast, and it was like, I forgot. It was like, I don't know. I thought it was like $15 or something. And like within 2 seconds, I had a nick in it. I'm like, fuck. What solution do you use? Baby shampoo with a little bit of Dawn. That seems to work best for Pro Classic. And I'd say Avery NR too is in that boat. There's a lot of films that'll slide easier than these two. Like NR, go figure why. NR Pro slides all over the place. To me, that adhesive is a lot more user-friendly. And maybe that's why they keep it that way. But I didn't like the haze of NR Pro. So that's why we're using what we're using. Yeah, so every film is going to be different. Like every film adhesive is going to be different. So a lot of you guys are going to be completely fine with just using baby shampoo or just using Dawn. But if you're asking me specifically what I use, that's what I use. All right, I don't need this to go that far in. We got Lexan film. What you think? Not a huge fan of how it shrinks or looks after it. I'm sorry. I'm not the... I feel bad. They've reached out to me. They want to be a sponsor, and I haven't responded. I was talking to them initially before, for like other reasons, but I like them. They're nice. And I have this message sitting in my inbox. It's like, hey, we want to sponsor the channel. And I'm like, what do I do? So far, I don't think I can. It's like, look, I think it'll... Let me try and explain myself. So, is it a bad film? No. No, it's not. But I just think there's possibly some scary stuff down the road, and if I'm promoting that for like a couple of years, like there's the one that everybody was talking about, like, yeah, I've heard they've got a newer one, maybe it's better or whatever. It should be. I hope it is. It worries me because I don't want to endorse Lexan, and then I just don't feel like it's the way. I don't feel like it is the, like, everybody wants the cheapest film that they can find that'll last forever. And we've never seen that be the case with any film before. So I just have a hard time believing. That color stable, lifetime warranty, you install it just like any other expensive film and you're going to be completely fine down the road. I just don't see that being the case. So that's why. It's like, I think they're good people. And if you go into it with the right, like, hey, I don't even want to, like, my market doesn't support it, whatever. I'm just, like, this is what I do. I like it. It works for me. Cool. More power to you. I just don't think I'm going to be that dude that ever endorses it in that type of way. Because I've seen too many other film failures to have a lot of confidence behind it. And that's coming from other films. So the good stance for, it's like you got to be very protective about your own branding, your own company. And the clear thing right off the bat that threw me off was the low angle haze. It is much stronger in their cheaper carbon. I haven't looked at their better one, but I will tell you, if you're just installing it in a garage and you pull a car outside and you just don't look at it afterwards, you'll never know. But you hand it to that customer with the 2 front doors done, and they paid for carbon, and then they're just kind of like, dang, my front doors seem kind of hazy in sunlight. Why is that? Well, it's because the carbon is just not as fine in that film, so it's going to have more haze in it. I think it's a great looking film. Like, otherwise, like, it's a nice neutral color. It looks clean. No other issues with it other than it's kind of hard to shrink. So it's got some workability issues that you can get used to and whatnot, but it's pretty much how I feel about it. I wish it was, and maybe it is. But we'll see. I guess we'll see down the road in a couple of years. And then people will say, oh, they got another one now. All right, where are we at? Canon. Okay, how about flex film? Somebody knows. What do you think of Armorland? I haven't used it. Is there a way to test factory 35 colored glass for heat rejection? Yeah, just take an IR heat bulb. If it seems like it does a lot, then there'll be some type of heat rejection in the glass. But most factory glass has 0 heat rejection whatsoever. Well, maybe a small amount, like just like the glass, right? It's gonna maybe do a little bit of something, but like most, like a dyed film is not gonna do anything for you. So just go to the store, literally 250 watt IR bulb, put it on an extension cord, and then you should be able to feel it. Like you don't need a special meter or anything to tell you. It's what you should feel, because when you put it on your car and you put it out in the sun, you should feel the same thing or something very similar. Okay, I'm gonna try a roll of GeoShield, thanks, and it's kind of hard to shrink. Yeah, Lexan is definitely, like, the first little bit is easy, and then you get towards those edges, that top, the very top and the very bottom, you have to put a lot of heat on it. But it looks great. Except for haze. Dang, this looks good. Oh, and the last thing. I'm not going to keep harping on it. The last thing is, like, look. Yes, a full box is going to be, like, you wanna order a couple color stable dyed roll of film, something that you know is going to last, something that isn't going to let you down, something that's going to do good for your business. But it's expensive, right? Well, it's not that expensive per car when you break it down. So you can get about 8 cars. So just take whatever those roll prices are for a 36 by 100 and break it down 8 cars. And tell me, is that really that much more expensive when you break it down per car? No, it's not. So you make good money with any film that you're going to use. Is that wireless HDMI? Yes. Yes, it's the Hollyland. It's a new one from a company called Hollyland. It's the smallest one I could find that didn't seem like it would let me down. You see, we can shrink with this. Throw away all your squeegees, ladies and gentlemen. You can shrink and install film with the Detroit Tint Studio squeegee. That's so much quicker. Yeah, and time is money too. So that's what I've said, like, this isn't a super curved back window. This is a very simple back window to do. But it shrinks smooth, it shrinks quickly, and then you can go about your day. It's just a little $20 Wagner heat gun. Do you heat a piece of dirt? No, that's what's nice about it. It still skips over the pieces of dirt. It'll dig the dirt in a little bit more than the felt card would, but it's not quite the same edge as a felt card. So I'm doing it for memes, okay? It was one of those things where it's like, hey, I wonder if I can shrink with it. Oh, look, I can. Neat. Would I recommend it? If you want to, go ahead. It's just fun. We don't have much. We don't have much in window tinting, all right? So let me have my little bits of fun when they come. Ooh, a squeegee. I like it, okay? This one's pretty beat up, too. This one's on its last leg for sure. Do we have a light? This thing's probably gonna die soon. I haven't charged it in a minute. Did you do an H pattern? Yeah, I did earlier on. I'll always do a line across the middle. You don't have to be as critical on that for like the top. For like the top sides. I'm about to try it. Watch my... I have 2 videos on shrinking back windows that were posted within the last couple of months. Go watch both of those. I think it was just how to shrink a back window. I would highly recommend watching that, though. It's one of my best explanations of just doing a back window. They're all going to be really similar. Should we do Datrix? Should we do? I think we should. I don't want to, but I feel compelled to because I don't get these very often. So I guess we can do that. Maybe we can turn it into a video. Canon. Canon. Neat. I know I donated because of my first ceramic job, but that was at the shop I'm working at. I just booked my own personal first ceramic job. Oh, nice, man. Very nice. Congrats. That's cool. I always like when people book better jobs. I want y'all to do good. Do good for yourselves. All right. Oh, dang. No. We're in the middle of the stream. We don't have time. What do we got to do? Datrix. You need to watch more often. Every live stream I watch, there's more things added to your head. We've had this for a couple of streams now. Oh shit! I have a cut piece already. Let's see if this is okay. All right, so this is Datrix. Exciting. So I have like a really old video about this stuff. And I think we're going to install it today on this one. This is one of those cars that you're going to want to install it on. It's got a very wide dot matrix area. They've been around for a long time, so most existing tinters know about them. But if you want to fix the top of a wide dot matrix area, this is how you're going to do it. Go for it. You're either going to glue it, which I said a little bit earlier, the only reason I've stayed away from using like an Elmer's glue is because it's still exposed to UV. So you have the sun beating down on the car, and then people will take a layer of glue and mash it in between the film and the tint. So the sun's still beating down. There's a risk of that yellowing. I saw pictures of that earlier on, which always scared me away from doing it, so I never did. So we're going to take our heat gun, we're going to finish up these little edges here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hack off the top of the film just below the dot matrix area. And then we're going to, what are we going to do? We're going to chop it off. We're going to make it look very clean. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so this is kind of the annoying part. What did we do with it? Oh yeah, we put it right here. So let's turn on our light. and let's cut this off. So this is like the most, one of the first annoying part of doing this is like if you have a nice easy looking, or a nice easy back window to kind of like stand over, you can make a pretty clean cut line. So get a stool or something, but you gotta see where those dots are. And you gotta chop the film off just below it. So there's no going back now. We have committed to the dot tricks. And then however you want to finish this off, so I'll sometimes round it a little bit at the end. I don't know why, I just do. So we got half of it there. We're gonna take our stool, we're gonna go to the other side of the car. This still isn't a perfect fix, but it's a pretty damn good one. Whoa, I'm gonna trip. So for whatever reason, even though you put dot tricks, there's still sometimes a little white line at the edge of it. So like you could do this a couple different ways. You could put it just higher into the dots and have a nice uniform small dot matrix border around the whole thing and make it just look like a smaller back window. I don't know, you play around with it, but you're not gonna get these as often as what they used to be. That is just a little Braun light. Well, the brand is Braun. I got it from Harbor Freight, and also find them at Menards under like a different name. Just something to brighten up the inside. So now we have the full dot matrix exposed. So this makes it also easier to tint, because all we have to do is tint up to the dot matrix part, and then we're effectively vinyl wrapping the inside. It's not the same as vinyl. It's like thicker and softer. It's got a nice soft glue for it. But this isn't something you're gonna run into every day. This is every once in a long while. You're gonna have a car like this. You're gonna have an older Corvette. You're gonna have what is it, like a Honda Accord coupe. You're gonna have some weirdo ones, usually from the 2005 to 2010 range. And if you wanna make them look a little bit better, this is what you can do. Not what you have to do, it's what you can do. It is something that I used to charge an additional like $50 for, but it sat. I bought a roll and it sat, and it sat, and it sat, and every once and forever you get a guy that's like, hey, what about the dot matrix? But this used to be a rampant question when I was first learning how to tint. Well, look at the dot matrix. Well, go get a different car, I don't know. Ugh, oh my God. Sorry, we have some stuff in the way. That's my shop. Yes, that's my shop. It's mine. All right, so we're just going to give this a thorough cleaning. Everything else right now is going to be installation as normal. We just got to get the film installed on the back window. And we're going to leave an ugly big light gap. Dunking this in some warm water. Is the whole shop mine? Yes, yes, I got 3,200 square feet of playground. And I only use about a couple thousand. I just couldn't find a smaller space, so I got a big one. Finding a space was a lot harder than I thought it would be. I'll tell you what, we're gonna move that so we can get lower. Tell you what, this thing is very awkward when it's got some side weight on it. The flooring is raised deck. That is the space I was working with before. So I had little less than 400 square feet a bottle of dot matrix liquid. I don't think I ever heard of it. I knew of a couple things that were around. GoPro. Sorry. Thank you for that. I'm looking for... Where's my side swipe? There's my side swipe. They still sell it? Interesting. If you want to post it in the group, the Window Tint Stuff group on Facebook, I will take a look. It's nothing I ever heard of. Everybody would scream for Elmer's glue. I didn't like Elmer's glue, though. Did somebody ask about the clay jacuzzi? It's just like a little food thermos. That's all it is. I found that one, I think, at Target. I want to get one printed clay jacuzzi. I think that would be fun. But it's nothing I would... I'm not going to sell it. I miss the flip-flops. We'll get there. I miss them too. These are the comfiest shoes I've ever worn, though. These are my dad's shoes. So these have no laces. They're really comfy and squishy. You just slip on, slip off. They're very breathable too, but they look like a mess right now. Okay, so first part, we're gonna install this. Nothing unusual, like I said. We're just gonna butt this up to where we cut it off at the top. So this will effectively black out the top, and it's no longer gonna be usable. But the Tint Wiz towels are soft as hell. Yeah, after we give my baby a bath, we put them in one of the Tint Wiz towels. Yeah, if you find that glue, link it. I don't know if I'll use it, but I'd be interested to know what it is. Yeah, there's not a lot. So I don't really like buying a full roll of Dotrix just to have it sit on the shelf, so that's why we're using it today on this one. This is an older, well, I say older. I mean, honestly, how old of a problem is this really? They just don't make them. They just don't make them like they used to. I tell you, they just don't make them like they used to. Oh, I remember that. Stupid. There we go. I remember these panels. They're stupid because they like get really close to the edge. They press against the glass, but as soon as you like bump them, like you can tuck the film underneath them. You just gotta lift the whole panel up and the film will slide underneath. But if you bump that panel, my cuts were usually at this point where it would push the panel, swing back, and lift the film. So we don't want that to happen. So I cut this just a little wider than I should have. Okay, we gotta go a little bit lower. So we're just putting this up to like where that is. I wet sand the matrix. Yeah, that works. That's good. I've had so many weird, I don't know. I saw somebody take like a DA sander to a Cobalt, like the two-door Cobalt one, and then they used like Rapid Tack, and that shit looked just as bad as it did before, so they just didn't sand it enough. I'm just not in the mood to take sandpaper to glass. Never done it. Don't plan on it. That's just how I feel about it. So we're gonna squeeze this out. Bippity bop. So the Dotrix layer is always gonna go over. It's gonna overlap the tint. Doing it the other way isn't gonna look much better. It'll look a little worse. So the point of the Dotrix is to fill in all those little gaps and stuff. I don't know why I can't fill in that little white line, but you'll see. Whoa. It's gonna really suck if I get like a Cadillac coupe. And I gotta wear all this stuff on my head. That's gonna be fun. Alrighty. So we gotta do a little bit of mental gymnastics here. So, whoop-de-doo. I guess, should we clean it? WTF, you cut off the film. Yeah, I don't see a gap. Do you see a gap? I don't see a gap. You crazy. You crazy, man. We're just gonna let it roll like that. Whatever. Buckle up, Buttercup. We're gonna ship it. No, we're gonna make it look pretty. Just give it a second. Just give it a second. Did I tell him about it? Nah. But I tell you what. I don't know. I don't know what I was gonna say at the end of that. It's gonna look good. It's gonna look good. So we're just gonna clean this off so we can get a good look-see at it. It's art. Looks better that way. Spray painting would legit look good. It's just all the other spray paint that would look not so good. Alrighty. So what is it? How to install it, Dotrix? What are you doing? You hacked up the top. I know I've talked about it already. We're going to talk about it again. So this, with a little nubby on top, this is the top of the film. We hacked it off because it looks better this way. No, there's this big, ugly dot matrix here, and we got to cover it up. Because if we don't do that, it's all going to silver out. This is something that just doesn't exist as much of a problem anymore. It does nothing for the sides. So take it with a grain of salt. It'll make the top look better, and then everything will be good. We need this. This is what I'm doing. So Dotrix is a thick vinyl. I had it laying around still. I've had people ask me about the top things, so we're making this as a video so people stop asking me. So normally I would just cut this right on the glass if I didn't have a glass board, but because I have a glass board, that'll make this just a smidge easier for me. Boopity-boo. So we have sliced off the film as a template. We're going to give it a border. We're going to make it a little bit bigger. So make sure that your adhesive is pointed the right way. I believe mine is. And then we're just going to trim it off about a 1/4 inch wider all the way around, including the top. You can go closer on the sides, but you need a significant gap or border because you're overlapping the dotrix. See? And then it just peels like that. Real easy, just like that. So yeah, the whole way around, and then we can trim up the sides a little bit tighter, because the sides really don't have to be that tight, because we already have an overlap for that. But top and bottom, it's good to have them a little bit wider. Gives you a little bit of room to make some mistakes. And then I use a clear glue stick also. This isn't arts and crafts. This is window tinting. We're adults. We're not in kindergarten. Well, some of us are adults. I'm still a kid. I'm going to put that there. Alrighty, so this is my template. We're done with that, but we can keep it around in case we make a mistake, or in case we did things backwards. I don't know for sure. Pretty sure, but I don't know for sure. Alright, so this is the part that's not so fun. It's trying to get it to line up, because the dots, it grabs the dots, and it wants to hold on. So you need to leave a lot of moisture so it kind of like floats. But we've already clay barred them out. I feel like I'm watching an arts and crafts. Well, screw you, dude. This is in a way an arts and crafts video. Does this have a... No, it doesn't. I was wondering if it had a crosscut glue. It doesn't. So just peel it off. Give it a good spray. And then it'd be good to have a bottle with like super soapy water, but we don't have that because we're here. I don't know. I just didn't set one up. So now you gotta line it up. You see, it's just slipping all over the place until it's on the glass, and then it'll grab it really fast. So if you're lucky, you can get it lined up. If you bump it on the edges too, sometimes you can get it to shift into place. And oh my God, did we just do it? Was that it? Oh, I've done it way worse than this. Oh my God, that's good. We did it. Shit, I made it look easy. I've peeled these off and put them on 5,000 times before. And then finally got it in place. Okay, so we're in place. We have our overlap. We're good. Now it's just a matter of squeegeeing it out softly and evenly, because this stuff is very soft, and you can make it crease, you can make it bend, and you can tear through it. So just easy peasy. Cross your fingers that this isn't going to shift into any light gap. But this is, again, this is only for the top. The sides still look like they always do. This is just an older problem that doesn't exist as much anymore. But this one should be happy. Shouldn't you put the tint first before you put the tint vinyl? The tint is already installed. So yes, we should, and we did. Thank you. So the other thing you're going to want to watch out for is air that is left over. So you can sometimes go over it a couple times, warm it up on the outside, and put it. All right. See, we just butt up against, I hate these. I hate these. These little panels, they come a little bit close. So it's like, maybe we can pull it, and then, there we go. That's what we needed to do. We should have just done that. There we go. Now we're behind it. And we should be all buttoned up. So we can take a look-see. Oh my God, too much stuff on my head. GoPro. Canon. Black screen. Uh-oh. We messed it up. See what it... I bumped something. Give it a second. Oh. I don't know what it's doing. Maybe we bumped the battery. Technical difficulties. Give me a minute, we'll be there. No, it's not dead. It's sensitive. GoPro. Linking. GoPro. Or Canon. No! All right, hang on. There we go. We're connecting again. Yes, we are turning it off and on. That is actually the way to fix this. It's doing something. Linking. Why are you still linking? Hey! Oh, shit. How do we... Wow, this is just being funky, huh? Well, the HDMI connector is working. Ooh. The HDMI connector is working, but the GoPro is tweaking. So, offhand, I'm not sure yet. Hang on. Okay, so it's back on. There. That should do it. Yay! Woohoo! We did it! We fixed it. You guys see what I gotta go through every time? That's fun. And then we're just gonna put this on. Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright. Now we can finish. Now we can finish the car. We're almost done. There. That should be good. Okay, so we're gonna clean off this outside really quick. We're gonna give it a once over. We're gonna see if there's any air that was left in it. I'm sorry for camera difficulties, but you know how it is around here. So I've already taken off dry shrink prep. Now, this is just a quick squeegee. So what I'm looking for at this point is going to be leftover air that I might have missed. But it's already looking much better than if I just tinted it. And that's what we're aiming for. We want it to look just nice, smooth, even. It's not a perfect solution. I don't think there really is a completely perfect solution. But this will definitely look better. So there's a little bit of air here. We're just gonna push it out because as this dries out, it's just gonna seal around all the dot matrix. So we have a little bit more air there. Unfortunately, I can't see it from the inside as clearly. Like you're looking at black, so you're just kind of guessing where all that air is and just pushing out what you can. Just don't heat it up all too much because it is very soft, and don't press overly hard or you'll rip right through it. But this is looking much more even. We got a little bit here. I'm gonna press this out. Good deal. And then the only thing at the end of this is like there'll be this little white line, and I don't know why that is, but it always seems like it leaves a little white line through it at the end. But it is better than a big mountainscape, so that is how you install Dotrix. If you happen to run into a car that happens to need it, but for the most part, you won't. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk, and I'll see you in the next one. That should be a good video. I still use the torch to heat up the backlash to remove old film. That's a good, I've seen that. That's a good way to do it. It seems to work out well. I just never sure when I had it in the right temperature, but I've seen a video that explained it pretty well. I'm intermediate with the torch. I'm like, I can do some stuff with it, but it's not something I regularly use. So with this, you'll never be able to see out of this portion again, but it looks good. I think it looks good. Let's take our towel. Hand torch for little specks. Yeah, that's helpful. I always lose them. Super chat. LKB, you're at the end again, buddy. Starting without me. Bro, we've been here since like 3 o'clock. Thank you so much for the 5. I appreciate it, as always. Yeah, we're wrapping up. I'm sorry. I'd wait for you, but I think everybody else wouldn't. Let's pop these back in. And then we'll wrap up. So we learned a couple of unique things today. You don't use the tint stuff name anymore? Yeah, it gets tossed around here and there. Tint stuff was, like, I didn't know what to name the channel, so it was Tint Stuff because that's what it was about. I never really liked the name. That's just what it was. And then when we turn this place into the studio, I really like the idea of calling it a tint studio well over just a window tint shop. Because to me, a studio says a little bit more about it. But I might just be overthinking it. So, super chat, LKB. LKB again with the 5. I own a Fusion, so let's get it. We did a couple of things that I think will make this stand out over the other little Fusions. It's problems that I used to run into, but I don't get this type of Fusion very often. So we did dot tricks on the top, and then we managed to tint the full quarter window so it looks all clean. All right, and we charged the battery, I think. It says bad battery, that's not good. So we should be good. I got a jumper too, so no worries. Now all that's left to do is take a picture. And send it on its way. Where's the best place to get window tint tools that aren't overpriced? Well, I wouldn't say they're overpriced anyways. Tint Depot is a great place for tools. MyTintStuff.com is a good place for tools. Like a squeegee's gonna cost, like a good squeegee is gonna cost you 10 to 15 bucks. One of these will cost you like $3, $4. Like tint tools, you can get a whole arsenal for like under 200 bucks. And to get into any industry for that, I don't think is bad at all. If you're looking to save that much more on tools, then I don't know. Probably not looking to do it full time. All right. Oh, we got to take a picture, don't we? Let's take a picture. And I can let him know his car is all done. So let's take the keys so we don't lock them in. 20 on the front, 35 on the back. Good stuff. Ba-ba-da-ba. Picture for the website and the thumbnail. Can we get the sign in there? I don't know. Can we? Maybe. But then we get the license plate in there too. How's fatherhood? It's good. It really is. Like, yeah, maybe we can do that. No, I really like it. It's like there's times when it's like you're just kind of exhausted, but it's like now he's kind of coming around to like laughing, having a good time. He's a cute kid for sure. It's pretty great. All right, I'm trying to get, I don't know if I can get a good one that illustrates the dot matrix beforehand, but we'll do what we can. Canon, we done. Oh, did I say 20 on the front, 30 in the back? 35 on the front, 20 in the back. That's what we did. Aw. LKB with the 5 to fatherhood. Bam. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that a lot. Alrighty, so now we got to shout out some super chats. That was a really nice super chat. Viewer active. Is that where they are? There they are. All right, I got to put it on the. Oh, I got to put it on the tall one for today. All right, so a lot of support today. Thank you. Big shout outs to Efren, Daniel, Washington, Quick Shade, Daniel, LKB, and LKB. Thank you guys so much. I always appreciate the support. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. We're going to shout out the group. I need to put this on copy paste. Because it's been really active. It's been doing well, and I will answer questions there along with a ton of other people that are super helpful. So if you enjoyed this, head over to the Facebook group too. The window tint stuff on Facebook. The link says Tinternet because that's what it used to be called. I thought that was a good name for it, but nobody knew how to spell it. But yeah, I like the Facebook group. I'm going to be looking into making something entertaining for the Facebook group soon. I'm not sure how to sort out the technical part about it, but if I get it working, you'll know about it. So I will hang out there after the fact. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm imagining we will have something for Saturday. I don't have anything locked down yet, but hopefully Saturday we'll get something for another stream. So in the meantime, have a good one. I'll be there, and I'll see you guys in the next one. That's a good one to end on. Thank you. Shout out to your hair for supporting the gear. Good God. But it makes the stream look good, so that's why we do it. All right, guys. See ya.